So the NBA season is over and the playoffs have started. Not to mention Kyle Lowry's insane performance, being held to 0 points in 34 minutes of action, contributing to a 3-point loss to the Nets. Yes, Kawhi, this is playoff Kyle Lowry. But either ways, I'd like to share with you guys my picks of the NBA season awards. So without further ado, let's get into it. What it do, y'all? We back, and I want to thank you guys for the continued support on the channel. We just gonna keep this going. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to join the family and be active in the comment section. I like replying to your guys' comments. Alright, now back to the video. First, I would like to start off with the Rookie of the Year in my opinion. As most fans know, this race was between Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks and Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. So in this debate, let's just let it be known. We cannot bring records of other teams into this since both of them were comfortably out of the playoff picture, so instead focus solely on their play and stats. Trae Young, former Oklahoma Sooner, averaged 19.1 points per game, 8.1 assists, 3.7 rebounds, and near 1 steal, while Luka Doncic, former EuroLeague MVP, averaged 21.2 points, 7.8 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. Trae and Luka both run the point guard position, but have very different play styles. Trae Young exemplifies the new emergence of the scoring point guard, launching deep threes, taking tough shots, getting where he needs to get an open shot with his solid handle. He's more of a score-first point guard than Luka Doncic, but managed to average more assists than him. Luka is a great mix of the traditional point guard, but adds the flair with the new era of guards. He makes tough shots, gets where he needs to be on the court, and has a height advantage over a lot of point guards at 6'7". He is not deadly quick whatsoever, but his craftiness allows him to outsmart opponents. Shooting wise, Trae Young best Doncic, though they both had shot 32% from the field. Young didn't really start turning up until after the All-Star break, and he really started forcing it, and he has limitless range on his jumper. Don't get me wrong though, Doncic can light an opposing team up as well. In my opinion, the Rookie of the Year should go to Doncic because he was more consistent throughout the year, and Trae Young got off to a slower start. I do believe though that Trae Young definitely has more upside than Doncic, and he's a superstar in the making. He's really what the new generation of point guards is going to be. Now next I'd like to do Defensive Player of the Year, but no one really cares, so yeah, let's just say it's between Paul George, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. Next, Most Improved Player. The three people that are in the front running are De'Aaron Fox, Pascal Siakam, and Paul George. Now De'Aaron Fox and Pascal Siakam are definitely finding their niche and coming into their own in the league. De'Aaron Fox averaged 17.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and Pascal Siakam averaged 16.9 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. This was Pascal's first year out of 3 averaging double figures, and De'Aaron made a good increase on every popular statistic. But even though Paul George has already been considered a superstar in the past, he really came back to be considered a superstar once again, which is something difficult to do transitioning from the Pacers, where he was the guy, then going to OKC and playing with 2 other superstars, if you include Melo, but Russell definitely, having to share the rock even more than before, but he dealt with the adversity. From averaging 21.9 points per game last year to 28 points per game, 5.7 rebounds to 8.2, and 3.3 to 4.1 assists, he is my Most Improved Player of the Year. George was able to have the Thunder in the 3rd seed, and they would arguably stayed there had he not gotten hurt, but nonetheless got them in the playoffs at the 6th. Depending on who you ask, George was the biggest threat on the Thunder instead of Russell. Definitely in late game situations, teams were more focused on what George would do because he throws under the pressure. So 6th Man of the Year, the player that comes off the bench and has immediate impact on the game. In my eyes, it's gotta be Lou Will. How many players come off the bench and average the most points on the team? Oh wait. Alright. This should be his 3rd time winning the award. The 6'1" guard averages 20 points, 3 rebounds, and 5.4 assists. He is downright the 6th Man of the Year. Domantas Sabonis, Montrezl Harrell, and D Rose all had great years, but they don't compare to Lou's. Lou Will is just crazy. He comes off the bench and he's an instant spark. He's been doing this. The consistency should get him there alone. And you're averaging the most points on the team? That's crazy, man. MVP. The most valuable player of the league. It has got to be none other than James Harden of the Houston Rockets. He will look to repeat and rightfully should. In the Wild Wild West Conference of the NBA, James Harden led his Rockets to the 4th seed with a record of 53-29. Matching the Blazers, though the Blazers were on a 3-game win streak heading into the playoffs, getting them the 3rd seed. But for those of y'all that think Giannis should win the MVP, you have a case. But this is my video, so I'm going to tell you my opinion. Let's compare their stats real quick. Giannis averaged 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists, while Harden averaged, 36.1 points per game? Hold on, just think about that. So if Harden were to come out and step on the NBA court and score 30, we consider that a so-so game for him. Sheesh! 6.6 rebounds and 7.5 assists as well. Giannis averaged more rebounds than him, which is expected, and he led the Bucks to the #1 seed in the East. We all know the East is nowhere close to the West. The West is a whole different story, and there aren't many days you can just chill and say, that's going to be an easy win. So while Giannis had a great season, they still may give it to him since people hate on Harden like it's a living. He deserves the MVP. What are your guys' thoughts on the NBA season awards? Who do you think will win or should win? And do you agree with my picks? Disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, this has been Calso Scope. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.